Right, it fell out. Yeah, but as I was saying, but follow not a multitude to do wicked, because that's what he was. That is what they would be doing if they were trying to make him king and then follow after him, just because he has the concubine of David, his father. And the funny thing was, he wasn't even deceased yet. David wasn't even asleep yet. But yeah, he didn't get that chance because he died that very same day. So there goes all your hopes. Again, for women, they died. Right. So that's the part concerning the house of David versus the house of Saul. It's about their bloodline. Now, wait, let me try to find it. Oh yeah. Now, to the spirit, I understand, but I always say this. I often say it, that, wait, let me say it better. What I say often is this. You have people in the world that say this: Esau, in order to tell a lie, you need to tell the truth. Oh, sorry, you need to know the truth. But I would say, in order to tell the truth better, you need to know the origins of that truth, of the stories and stuff like that. With all that wisdom that you got, get the understandings. Because you might have wisdom with a lot of things, but you don't have the understanding of how it works. Like a television. You know how it works. You have knowledge of it. You turn the TV off and TV on. You see reflections of people and stuff like that on the screen. Okay, you get it. But you don't know how it works. With the pixels, you have all these rainbow colors, and then they get actually programmed and ordered to be only here when you see a face, and you light up these colors. Like with a game. With a game, for example. The game sends visuals to the television, and therefore it activates the pixels and all that type of stuff. It's a whole workings up in there. And that is basically the understanding of the wisdom that you have. But it's deeper than that, of course, because it is a television. The majority of the people on the planet Earth, maybe like even what, 90% or something like that, they don't know how to put a television from scratch. They don't know what to do. I wouldn't know. I've seen it. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I can't do that shit. Man. I never tried it, and I'm not gonna try it neither. Lord willing. So, but yeah. For example, you have other people that believe in this. How you call that thing? Okay, the DNA is real. I'm not talking about that. I mean, like, for example, you have different type of DNA, right? You have human DNA, you have animal DNA, you have fishes. So-called mammals. It's not mammals, but it's beasts, I should say, because it's not in the scriptures. Esau made that thing up. It actually has a meaning. So-called mammals and birds, birds, and fishes. They all have DNA, right? And all that flesh. Okay, cool. So, if I was to put a microscope in front of you, or Esau, and he tells you like, okay, what? Oh yeah, and plant DNA, and he asked you which one is which. Almost 99%. I don't like to throw out numbers, but I just very large amount of people, more than 90%, of course, would not know the difference between animal DNA, plant DNA, mammal DNA, and fowl DNA, and fish DNA. You don't know, unless you've been taught by their schools and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Well, that's kind of what I'm using as an example, that you have knowledge of something, but you don't have the understanding of what you're actually talking about. Until somebody helps you to be able to explain it better. Because the scriptures is a lot of times double-fold. Now, if you speak the spiritual meaning of the word, for example, you say America's Babylon. People are going to be looking at you like, what are you talking about? Babylon is Babylon. What are you talking about? Because you just said something spiritual toward them, and then therefore they wouldn't understand. So now you have to explain the carnal part to wherewith they can understand the spiritual part. and then you combine it together, and then they will be able to understand like, oh, so kingdoms revive themselves. Therefore, the kingdom of the Greeks, for example, is still not done away with, because that's Russia, for example. And the kingdom of an ancient Rome is still here in Europe, and they have not been basically done away with. So not only people reincarnate themselves or are reincarnated by the Most High, kingdoms too. Esau, he heaped all the kingdoms unto himself, and therefore he followed after their gods and stuff like that. Like the Easter Bunny chick, that's a Mesopotamian god over there. You know why? Because that's Ashtaroth, which nowadays they would be calling the king of the queen of heaven. Because in the time of Jacob, you know, in the time that we were in the land of Canaan, they called it the queen of heaven. Right. So then you get that understanding and stuff like that. But anyway, as I was saying, let me see what I was doing. What did I have next? So yeah, basically, getting more understanding, it's actually a dope thing. Because now you can expand on your explanations and stuff like that. But, like I said, kingdoms are reincarnated. Just like people. Right, so, right. So I'm gonna hit them up with these last ones. Damn, my feet hurt. Good. Boy, I'm not staring at me. Right, so it says right here, Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. So, the tabernacle of David is being built up again by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, along with the house of David, which the Jacob descendants will follow, but that's the bloodline of David, and they will be the royal ones. And Zechariah 12:7 explains that the bloodline of David, the house of David, should not magnify themselves against the rest of Judah, because they are a part of the pleasant plant of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That is in Isaiah chapter 5, verse, let me see. Isaiah 5 and 7. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. Right. So the men of Judah his pleasant plant, therefore you should not boast yourself against them, being of the royals of Judah. But you're going to find out who's the royals of Judah eventually. And once that time comes, you shouldn't boast yourself. You should start now, even if you're not of the, even if you don't know yet, because you know you're preparing for it. And also concerning the other tribes, they also shouldn't do it. Just a heads up. What am I looking for again? Oh yeah. Right. So the last scripture over here. Where was I again? Oh yeah. Acts chapter 15 and 16. It says, after this will I return and build again the tabernacle of David which is fallen, and I will build again the ruins thereof, and will set it up, and I will set it up. So that's being set up right now, you know what I'm saying? The tabernacle of David. And what is the tabernacle talking about? The dwelling place. It's not the individual tent of David. The house of David, that's the individual tents of David. But the tabernacle of David is talking about all that he had power over in the time when he was ruling king, when he was king. all that he had power over at that time, that's the tabernacle of David. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Adawakodash. Double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And shalom to the sincere occupant across the world. Shalom.